Hey everyone, welcome back. So, I am doing something a little bit differently today. I've always wanted to do overhead filming. I love watching overhead filming content, whether it's like a swatch party or building your own palette or depotting eyeshadows, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing today. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, depot these eyeshadows. I love depotting eyeshadows for so many different reasons. The main one being I like to see all of my eyeshadows and the different colors that I have and see what kind of inspires me when I'm putting together either a build your own palette or just kind of doing an eyeshadow look. I if something is out of sight, it's out of mind for me. Very rarely do I remember that there's this one shadow in that one palette that I really, really like. So I tend to depot my shadows, build my own palettes, and also give away a lot of eyeshadows that I just know I'm not going to use. So that's what I'm doing today. I have these 5 palettes here. I've got 2 of the Aether Beauty palettes. I've got actually 3 BH palettes. The Let That Shit Go palette, the Lost in Los Angeles palette, and this is the Sylvia Gani collab. My sister gave me this palette, so I'm not 100% sure where it came from. But I do like a lot of the shadows in here. However, I don't use like half of the shadows in each of these palettes. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I hope you enjoy. My name is Janet. I love makeup and sparkly things and color and creativity and, beauty and all of that good stuff. And so this is my little corner of the internet where I get to shout into the void and get my hands and fingers into some makeup. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope you'll stick around and let's get into it. Trying not to show the mirrors because boy, do I have a really interesting setup for filming overhead, and you just don't need to see that. So this is what they look like all open. The only 2 palettes that I haven't really gotten much use out of is the Aether Beauty. This is the Joshua Tree palette. It's an all matte palette. And the BH Lost in Los Angeles palette. It's a new palette to me. It's also really bright and colorful, which I absolutely don't hate. But I had one of my girlfriends came over this past weekend and we had makeup playtime. It was so much fun. And I was playing with this palette and I realized that I don't like half the shades in here. And I got this palette at, I think, like TJ Maxx for less than $10 for sure. So I'm not mad about it. I mean, I don't expect to love every shadow in a palette. When my girlfriend and I were playing with makeup, she swatched some of these shadows and I realized like they look really good on her coloring and her skin tone. So I'm actually going to be depotting and putting my depotted shadows into this dirty ColourPop palette that has another shadow that I don't like in it. So I'm going to be just putting any depotted shadows that I don't want into this and offering it to the makeup wearers in my life and see if I can, get them off of my hands and get them into the hands of somebody who will actually love on them. So yeah, all of the other palettes though, I do really enjoy. The BH Let That Shit Go palette, I bought this palette when BH was, I think they were like going out of business, or at least when everybody thought that they were going out of business. I bought it for $7 because I wanted to play around with greens and I didn't really want to invest a ton of money in, a bunch of single greens that I don't know if I'll like, or just a green leaning palette that I'm not really sure if I'm going to like. This palette, though, I've absolutely made some decisions on. I'll get into it. I'll swatch each of these shadows, but there's definitely a few of these shadows that I just No, like I'm never gonna wear them. So I carry this palette with me in my makeup bag mainly because of these two mattes here. These two mattes blended together make a really, really pretty color on my lids when I'm not really feeling much, but I just kind of want to do some color kind of thing. And then this pink makes a gorgeous inner corner highlight. So I'm really excited to debut this actually and put some of these shadows in my like magnetic palettes. I can build my own palette with just the ones that I really love. The Aether, what is this called? Amethyst Crystal Gemstone palette. Obviously, this is a purple leaning palette. It's so pretty. It's going to be fun to swatch some of these Aether shadows today because in my last video, I think it was my update number 1 for my Project Pan, I was talking about how these eyeshadows are really not like what you see isn't what you get. You have to swatch them to really know the color, what it's going to look like. So I'm excited to swatch some of these shadows and also depot and get rid of the other shadows that I really just don't like. And then, yeah, this one right here, this giant palette, the Sylvia Gani BH palette. I actually really like a lot of these tones in here, but first of all, it's huge. It's really large, this palette. These two, I think they're supposed to be highlighters. I'm really not even sure. One of them I like, the other one I don't really like. Most of the shadows I really do enjoy. I don't really know if I'm going to be getting rid of too many of these. I am going to be doing a declutter at the end of the year, and my single shadows are going to be included in that declutter. So I'm not going to be too insane today about getting rid of, most of these shadows or whatever. I just want to get rid of the ones that I know I'm not ever going to use. And the rest are just going to kind of sit in a magnetic palette until I'm ready to do my end of the year declutter where I'm actually going to like get into the nitty gritty, swatch, compare, and do things like that. Most of my shadows that I'm going to be keeping are going to be going into this. I think this is actually clean. I think it just gets mucky from use, but it's all the ones I'm going to keep are going to go into this palette right here. Okay, first things first, I actually think I want to just do a quick wipe down of this palette. Okay, let's start with probably the easiest one, the Let That Shit Go palette. So I actually tried to depot this already. I one night decided that I wanted to depot my shadows, or at least the shadows in this palette. I don't know exactly what happened. I think I got distracted or maybe changed my mind, whatever the case may be. I don't really remember, but it's officially time. I'm actually gonna keep this mirror. I like this mirror. It's a really good size. I'm gonna keep it in my makeup bag for when I need just kind of a larger up close mirror because my GAR visor won't do. I wanted to avoid making a mess, but it doesn't look like that's possible. I'm going to try and do this in a way that the shadows don't break. Sometimes they break, and it is what it is. Oh, I'm going to ruin the names. Do I care? Not really. So yeah, cool. BH comes in cardboard, and it's actually kind of nice because if you really want to depot your palettes, you can most likely do so without ruining the shadows. But it does take some patience, a little bit of time, and a butter knife apparently. looks like I already got my fingers into one of them. Uh, damn. The mats. I should have known better. The mats are always susceptible to cracking, always, and you really have to be careful not to try and bend those pans. And I was not careful. I got too brave. Dang. This is the one of the shadows that I liked. That's okay. Let me see if I can. Dang. So you can kind of see it cracked a little bit. Oh! I might repress this. Ugh. That's a bummer, but it is the risk that you take when you're depotting shadows. Just be prepared to lose shadows that you love. I personally think that's the key to a successful depotting or deconstructing or whatever the heck you want to call it. What is this? Oh, it's a magnet. That's interesting. Oof. I'm going to try and depot this last shadow a lot more gingerly because I really like this brown. Nice. Okay. This is why my eyeshadow palettes get all gross, because of glue from depotted shadows. Yeah, beach is not magnetic, unfortunately. Such a bummer. Where's that other? You can stay there. Okay, so gosh, really bummed about this shade. But again, it just kind of comes with the territory of depotting shadows. I'm going to quickly just go through these because I know already the ones that I want to get rid of and I know the ones that I want to keep. I'm going to be filled with sparkles by the time this is over. Like my hands are just going to be so sparkly, and honestly, I'm okay with it. So I love this shade. Definitely this shade is not going anywhere. It's so pretty. I just put this all over the lid. It's got this rosiness to it. Looks just like brown, straight up brown. And it's not, I promise it's not. It looks different on the eyes. So definitely going to be keeping that. This lime green shade here can go. I don't love this. This is just really not for me. And that's okay. I tried. And maybe somebody else can have a little bit of fun playing around with green shadows. I forgot. We'll do that later. This pink right here, gorgeous inner corner highlight. Gorgeous for just the inner third of the lid. I actually used this shadow on my sister on her wedding day, so it's really sentimental to me at least. But I also do really like this color, so definitely she can stay. This shade right here is a green brown. It's mostly brown with a green shift. It's different than the rosy because of that shift. First of all, it's just a lot lighter. I don't know if you can kind of see. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's a really, really pretty shift. So I love that a lot. Definitely she can stay. I'm not going to swatch the shadow, but I know that she can stay. This, I've tried with this kind of green so many times, and I've just come to realize that maybe it's not for me. I have brown eyes, so I'm always trying to accentuate my brown eyes, and I kind of do feel like greens or colors that have like some interesting greens in them can look really good, but I don't find that to be the case with this shadow. It almost feels like it's got like a blue, it's got like blue in it. I'm not even 100% sure really, but I don't like it, and she can go. This beautiful shade right here can actually stay. This is like a sagey green kind of thing. Really, really pretty. It's beautiful on top of this shade here, like in the center of the lid. When I put this brown, I'll put this green just on the center of the lid to kind of brighten it up, and it's really gorgeous. So you can stay, darling. This limey green, I kind of have been going back and forth on whether I want to get rid of it or not. I think I'm going to hold on to it, which seems very hypocritical to me because it looks almost like the matte version. No, they're totally different. They're totally different. You can see that. I was going to say maybe it looks like the matte version of this shade. Like maybe I should get rid of this also, but I don't actually think that that's the case. When am I going to use that? Like, when am I going to use that? That's okay. She can stay for right now, but I have a feeling at the end of the year, I'm probably going to declutter it. Oh gosh, so many shadows on my fingies. And this brown, this basic boring brown right here, right there on my ring finger, is just a pretty neutral brown to kind of put all over the lid. Maybe a little bit cool leaning. I don't hate it. So I'm keeping 7 shades and I'm decluttering 2 out of this 9-pan palette. I really thought I would be decluttering this one as well. You know what? I think I am. I feel like I've played around with it enough to know that I just don't want it. I'm done. It's not that I'm out of my green phase. I just don't think that this is the shade of green for me. God, this is going to make a mess. Ah! Okay. Well, I think I'm just going to toss this. My husband decided that he was going to call out of work today, and normally I don't care. He, knows what he needs and he can call out if he feels like he needs to. But I was really annoyed actually to wake up and find him still in bed because I thought I was going to have the house to myself so that I can film, talk to myself in peace and privacy. Alas, he's here in the home with me. Before I started filming, I went over to him and I was like, can you stay away from this part of the house for an hour? Yeah, no problem, babe. Ask me why I hear him walking back and forth in front of my room that I'm filming in. What part of stay away from this part of the house don't you understand, bruh? God, this shadow. It's gonna make an actual mess, but whatever. Okay, cool. What should I do next? Should I do Lost in Los Angeles or one of the Aether? This is going to require a lot of swatching. I really want to swatch all of these shadows, actually. Okay, let's depot the BH Lost in Los Angeles palette next. God, right off of the bat, I know that I'm going to get rid of this Melrose. Beautiful purple shade. Gorgeous. You wouldn't expect it to be so light. Well, I mean, I guess it looks about the same in the pan, but for some reason it just so pretty. Ooh ah, ooh ah. The problem is it looks terrible on my eyes. It looks very bruisey and dusty. And I just know my friend, I just know it's gonna look so much better on her. So getting rid of that. City of Angels. I don't do blue eyeshadow. I don't like the way it looks on me. I've tried. This feels almost like a primary blue with shimmer, which is the worst. What else? How does Rush Hour? Yeah, again, I just don't see a world in which I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, this is something I want to put all over my eyes. That's pretty. I feel like I have a lot of gold. That looks kind of yellow in the monitor, but it's gold. It's actually gold. I'll hold on to that one. The white, I've never even swatched it. For what? For why? Okay, let's get into it. Let's deconstruct. Oops, I got my nail in it. Awesome. I wanted to try and keep this a little bit more intact just so I can see the names, although genuinely I don't really care the name of the shadow that I'm using. Oh my god, I like dug my nail into so many of these shadows. That's okay. So shoot. Woo. God, these mats are so delicate. I don't know if you can see the giant crack. Is it surface level or is it? Huh. Also, now that I've swatched it, what do I think of this shadow? Do I want to keep it? Do I want to get rid of it? It's another green. I just need to be honest with myself. I just don't like. I just don't like. It's fine. It's totally fine. I don't have any more square magnets. I ordered some on Amazon. They're coming in the mail. So these are just going to have to live just kind of like that. No, I don't want that. held on to this for the names. I don't even remember the direction of the palette. Like, also, what was I thinking? Yeah, well, cut. Wow, that's really hard cardboard. Oh, I cracked the brown. Kind of orangey. Don't hate it though. I think the blue has to go too. Ugh. Ugh. It's so bright. Oh my god. Not that they're not pretty colors. Like, they're really pretty colors. The green, the blue. They're just not colors that I want in my eyes. I genuinely don't like the way that some of these colors look on me. And if I'm not going to enjoy my makeup, what's the point of even doing it? So sorry for the shaking every once in a while. I'm trying really hard not to hit the actual tripod. That's all. Just got my phone precariously. Ah, dang. Okay, well that's that. I'm gonna hold on to both of these. This one's a little bit blue based for me. I don't know if I love it, but I do want to try it on my eyes and just kind of see how I like that. This one's really pretty. It's this one right here. It's a really pretty, like, light purple color. It's fine. It's fine. It is what it is. I have been filming for 45 minutes already. That's crazy. That's so crazy. I still have 3 more palettes to go. Oh my god. So I'm keeping all of these 10, and I'm getting rid of these 15. A 15 pan palette is way too much. Can you even see that? That's so light. Maybe that would make a pretty inner corner. I haven't played around with a lot of these shadows, so I think I'm going to keep the rest of these, just kind of play around with them. And then hopefully by the time my end of the year declutter comes, I'll have made some decisions or have some more solidified feelings about what should go, what should stay, that kind of thing. Oh, jeez. Cheap stickers. Okay, so far you can tell that I have a type, and clearly blues and greens. I tried. I really have tried. I'm kind of done with the BH cardboard right now, so I think I'm gonna do the Aether Amethyst Crystal Gemstone palette next. This is such a pretty palette. It's so pretty. Just objectively looking at it, this is a really gorgeous color story. And I have 4 Aether palettes. I am sad to be depotting this and deconstructing it. Let me go and wash up because I do want to swatch these. Yeah, like I was saying, for a long time, I've thought about depotting all of my Aether eyeshadows and having them all in just one place so I can look at them and know what I've got. The reason I haven't is because I genuinely think that this is a really pretty color story. And why take apart something that was done so well? But I recently had this palette in my makeup bag, and so I was using it pretty consistently for a few weeks, and I came to some realizations. I really don't like, well, this top shadow is really beautiful, but I don't like these three shadows down here. And I don't like this purple right there. It reminds me a lot of this purple from the BH palette. It actually really, if you ever had the Stoned Vibes palette, the Urban Decay Stone Vibes, there was a purple shadow in there, and that's really what this reminds me of. And I gave that shadow away because I didn't like the way it looked on my eyes, and so I'm really excited to give this one away also because it also does not look very good on my eyes. Yeah, it's a gorgeous color story. It really is, even if not all of the colors look good on me. It's time to depot these. I really hope the pans are magnetic. It's kind of annoying when they're not. I don't really know anything about why some pans are magnetic or not. That's chemistry. That don't ask me. Aether also does cardboard packaging. They're all about like the whole palette is recyclable essentially, except for this. This is also their old packaging. They've come out with new packaging that doesn't have this thing right here. It's nice to know that when I'm done with this, I can just kind of toss it in the recycling bin. So let's get to swatching. That's really pretty. That looks like a straight up bruise on me. That's this shade right here. That looks like a straight up bruise on me. That's this gorgeous shade right there. It's like a taupey purple. Is taupe purple already? It's like a taupe, but with more purple in it. I don't know. Don't ask me. Ooh, that's so pretty. That's this shade right here. That's one of my favorite shades. This too is quite gorgeous. This is also like a rosier leaning purpley taupe. Doesn't really look rosy, but it is on my skin. Look at that. It's got greens in it. So this shade, my middle finger right there, that shade, the most basic one, is my favorite shade in this palette. Well, one of my favorite shades in this palette. It's got a beautiful, beautiful lavender, lilac. I don't even know. Kind of looks pink on me, honestly. You can hardly see it. But it's so beautiful. I really love it. This shade reminds me, that's this one right here, reminds me of that Urban Decay Stone Vibes shade. It's just too dusty. Like the color looks dusty on me, which I just don't love. Ooh. So stunning. I bet that would be stunning wet. Ugh. Bruise. Bruise. That's this one right there. No. Do you see what I mean by what you see is not what you get? Like, would you have expected that? I mean, maybe right there. The shift is so pretty. It's got greens. But it's just the wrong shade of purple for my undertones. The mattes. Buttery. So buttery. That's pretty. I'm keeping all of those. So yeah, it looks like, oh, I'm going to be getting rid of these two right there, and then these three right there. So, and I will be keeping all the rest. Let's get to deconstructing. Ooh. Oh, this glue is serious. No turning back now. Yeah, these are just like the BH palettes. Dang, I just dug my finger into that. I have to stop doing that. I'm like not even being careful. I think after you depot like one or two eyeshadow palettes, and then you break a couple shades, and then you get rid of them, and then you forget about the shadows that you even broke, it just kind of reminds you that none of this stuff really matters that much. None of these material things really matter that much. But I don't want to ruin all of these shadows, so I'm going to try and be more careful. Oh, fun surprise. The Aether, are they magnetic or is it just the glue? I think the Aether shadows are magnetic. But the glue, ugh, that's so gross, so annoying. That's so annoying. No, yeah, they are magnetic. So fun. Awesome. So I'm going to be getting rid of these 5 sticky I've stuck my nail into it again. I'm going to be getting rid of these 5 and keeping these 7. Awesome. Since that was really easy, I think I'm going to do the other Aether palette next because the Sylvia Gani palette is huge. Gonna go wash myself for the umpteenth time. Be right back. Okay, so this Aether Joshua Tree Desert Matte palette. All of the names of the colors, I guess, have to do with Joshua Tree. Yeah, tumbleweed, new moon, agave, sure. Um, I don't know why I bought this palette. I I don't like greens. I don't like blues historically. These are all just basic matte browns, things like that I'm not really sure. Not really sure why I bought this palette. I'm actually gonna take it apart first and then swatch it after because I know for sure. Well, I don't. Yeah, let me just take this apart. Much easier. Is that a black? I don't even think I realized that this was a black. I think that shade was called New Moon. That makes sense. I'm nervous because the mattes are always the most prone to cracking, and this is an all matte palette. So we'll see. We'll see how many shades I lose. Oh, yeah, this purpley color cracked. Oop, this yellow is cracking. Ah. Ugh, the glue is so gross. I mean, that's just. I didn't know glue was recyclable. Okay, so I truly don't know what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to get rid of. I guess let's start with the black. Do I want to start with the darkest color? No. Maybe let's go light to dark, actually. This really pretty skin tone. Do I need this? No. I feel like I have enough beiges to last me a lifetime. This marigold. I'm really terrible with color names. It's so dusty. Ooh, that's really pretty. I have been liking lately a like yellow in the crease and a gold on the lid. So I think I'm gonna actually hold on to that one. Ooh. Ooh, she's rich. It's looking very orange in the monitor. Will it look this orange on my face, on my eyes? Oof. That's a really pretty sunset gradient, isn't it? I am going to hold on to both of these mainly because I don't feel like I've had enough opportunity to play around with these tones and these shades because I just don't open up this palette because I'm like, what am I going to do with an all matte palette? It doesn't have any shimmers in it. Also, if I haven't apologized for the shaking before, sorry about the shaking. I have my tripod precariously resting on something because I had to get an extender for the arm. It's a whole to do. Filming setup is a whole to do. I mean, truly. Working on it though, hoping to stabilize things as we go. This is a pretty brown. Ooh, yeah, that all over the lid, just on its own, really pretty. For sure, holding on to that. Ooh, she's a little deeper. Yes. Yeah. A wash of this over the lid is so beautiful. That's really pretty. The Aether mattes are like butter. It's crazy. Hmm. Mm. Ah. Jeez, I don't know. That's pretty. I'm going to hold on to both of these for now and make an effort to play around with them. And I might have something similar to this, so I might actually declutter that later. That's so pretty. Would you expect that color from that shadow? Not really. That's really pretty. I think I know I'm not keeping this, but I have to. It's so pretty, but I'm never gonna wear it. Ooh, that's a nice green. That's a green that I could play around with. I don't know if I'm going to love it on my eyes, but I'm definitely willing to give it a shot. Black. Jet black. So nice. Oh, love that. Look at that. Yeah. No, not keeping that. Don't need any more black. I'm not the kind of bee that likes a black. I mean, I have my eyebrows are jet black. My mascara is always black, but the color on my eyelids, just not into it. So I'm getting rid of 1, 2, 3, 4. No, wait. Oh, 3. I'm only getting rid of 3. Is that for real? Yeah, I guess so. And I'm keeping 9. Not too bad. So far, that's the lineup. Okay, gonna wash for the final time and then do the last palette, which I'm very excited about. I'm tired, I'm hungry, and my husband and I are gonna go see Beetlejuice later, and so I have to be done by a certain time because he already bought the ticket. So let's get it going. Okay, so this is so many shadows. I just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, 22, counting these two things off to the side. That's a lot of shadows for me personally. So a lot of these colors are really pretty though. So yeah, I'm not going to be getting rid of too many of these shadows right now, right off of the bat. That's really going to happen when I do my like swatch comparison and compare them to what I already have and all that good stuff. But let's get it going. Last palette. Super excited. I already got my finger in one of the shadows. There's a lot of mattes in here. I have a feeling we're going to lose a few shades. I think the reason why I didn't lose any of the Aether shades was because even their matte formula is very creamy. Oh, what happened? Something dragged in it and it made all of the eyeshadow crumble. Gosh. I'm really good at this. You can tell. I'm really good at this. Hello. Hi. So, my phone died and we are now hours later. It's got to be like almost 8 p.m. here. The lighting looks different. Everything looks different. My phone died, I think, and I use my phone to film. I think while I was depotting these two shadows, it died. And then it had just been so long since I was doing this little project. I just had to continue really quick. Anyways, so I'm just cleaning up the rest of these. I really want to get rid of that cardboard that's on the back. I just don't like it. And when I put a magnetic sticker, it'll be all uneven and stuff. So I just really need to finish cleaning this up. What I want to do next is actually compare these shadows to, at least the shadows that I want to keep, to the ones that I've already decided to keep from today. That's going to be as rigorous as it gets for me right now. It's getting pretty late. I really need to finish up this little project that has taken so much longer than I thought it would. God, this is going to drive me crazy. I really want to just finish up this last little bit of this project and then just kind of call it a night. This has gotten me really excited to do my end of the year declutter, because every time I open my main eyeshadow palette, I'm a little bit like, these need to go. Like, some of these really just have either lived past their prime, or okay, I just had a catastrophe. Everything in my frame has changed because it all just kind of fell over. And it started with this blue getting all over the place. So I'm getting rid of this. I was going to get rid of it anyways. I was just going to offer it to somebody, but I'm just going to toss that. Okay. So that being said, I am also going to get rid of this black. I don't use black. I just got rid of another black. I have already 3 blacks in my main palette and I never use black. So I think I'm good, and that can go. So this is the next shade that I'm going to get rid of. It's wrong for me and my coloring. I just don't prefer it. It does have a little bit of blue mixed into it. I swatched it with the finger that had some blue, but I really just don't like this color on me. It's too I don't know, yellow. Not into it. It's like the wrong shade of yellow. This I know I'm going to keep. This is really, really pretty. It's a brown color, but it's the perfect tone of brown. I dig that a lot. So I'm going to keep that. I'm going to get rid of this matte cream color. I have one of these and that's enough. I'm gonna get rid of that. I think I'm going to keep this for now. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that. I want to play around with it on my eyes. Oh my god, it is a Gigantor pan. I really want to try it on the eyes. I haven't tried that yet, so I'm gonna hold on to that for right now. I should not have swatched that blue. It stained my finger, and I'm sure if I washed it, it would go away, but I just can't be bothered for that right now. This I'm gonna get rid of. It's too white. It's that one right there. It's just kind of too icy for me. So I'm gonna get rid of that. I actually have a coworker who I think would really love that, so I'm gonna offer that to her. Ooh, this is filling up. I've also made terrible use of the space. Yeah, the triangles make it really difficult. Ugh, and they're sticky. Gah. Okay, I mean, that's good for now. I'm gonna keep this. This is a really pretty rosy brown. Oh yeah, that's really beautiful and oh, so buttery. This is the typical beach formula. Even though this is old, it's still really pretty. I'm also gonna keep this. This is a really interesting greigey. No, it's kind of like a taupey brown. It's a really, really cool tone brown. It's just an interesting shade. It's hard to see on my arm because I'm kind of tan right now, but I actually really do enjoy this shade. I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't like reds on my eyes. They make me look crazy. I did it once, and my husband, who never comments on my makeup, said, "Oh, you went all in today, didn't you?" And I said, "I sure did." I'm trying to wipe everything away with a dry towel, and I 0 out of 10 recommend doing that. Okay, come on, Janet, moving along. God. Yeah. Yeah. That's also too red for me. I'll hold on to that for a while. That's a really pretty color, but I think I have like 3 of that now. Oh, that's so pretty. That's such a pretty pink. Ooh, that's a gorgeous purple. I love that. That kind of reminds me of the Kosas, that 10-second eyeshadow, the one that everybody hated, but I actually love. I went through 2 of those tubes. I finished, I believe it was Globe and Fahrenheit, and I found the formula to be super easy to work with, long lasting all day, especially Globe. That one was my favorite. I was really sad when that one finished up. It's a matte brown. Ooh, look at this plummy color. I want to try eyeliner with that too. I have not touched a lot of these shadows, and this is going to be really fun at makeup playtime. Yeah. Well, yeah. This I'm very excited to swatch. Yes, for sure going to keep that. No, it's gold, but not the right shade of gold for me, not my preference. I like wearing gold, but it has to be done right. Has to have the right tones for my skin. Very orange. No. Yes. It actually is the right kind of warm that doesn't pull orange. Okay, so I'm getting rid of 8, and keeping 13, if I counted right. That sounds about right. So yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with these. I do want to compare them to some of the shadows that I've already decided to keep. Okay, so where do I start? Mm, those are very similar, but the Aether one is definitely more brown. I'm gonna keep both. Those are different enough. I just want to see which one I prefer. I'm going to play around with both, probably get rid of one after I've had a chance to see it in action. Those are very similar. I forgot which finger I swatched which one on. Okay, these are also I want to play around with and see which one I prefer. I'm going to keep those off to the side. And then these can all stay. Okay, so this was really fun. Actually, a lot more exhausting than I thought it would be. I think 5 was too many, but I just kind of wanted to get the job done in one fell swoop, you know? So this is it. This is the byproduct of all of my hard laboring today, breaking apart these eyeshadow palettes and making these really fun decisions about what I want to get rid of, being surprised maybe by a few of my choices, but overall not really. I kind of already knew I was going to get rid of most, if not all of these. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you if you made it to the end. This is going to be a doozy to edit, but I just realized I was not in frame. That's okay. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I'll see you next time.